And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second half of the broadcast. Here we just wrapped up with our first series, our first best of 9 between Gumiho and Zaun in StarCraft 2. But now, welcome one and all to StarCraft Evolution. This is a mod in StarCraft. This is a mod, and a mod that has been there's been so much work, so much effort put into it. Of course, they've been actively updating, patching the mod itself, and now we are here competing in StarCraft Evolution. We've been casting a lot of SC Evo over the past year. I say year, basically since last year, around October, November of last year is when we started focusing and broadcasting StarCraft Evolution. Has been worked on quite considerably since then, of course, and we now have the StarCraft Evolution Championship starting this weekend. This weekend, again, we were otherwise preoccupied and busy with the Thermal 2v2 circuits, so we weren't able to cover any of it, but we will be casting those matches via replays. StarCraft Evolution Championship matches should be via replays this week. This week we'll be all over it. Until then, though, we do have a show match between TaeJa and Classic. Again, for those that are unaware, for those that maybe tuned in during the break, TaeJa, he is back. He came back almost 2 months ago. I want to say it's been almost 2 months since TaeJa's return, but he is back specifically in StarCraft Evolution, not in StarCraft 2. So he's competing in the StarCraft Evolution Championship. He's been competing in StarCraft Evolution League alongside show matches and alongside, show matches like this as well. And it's been looking pretty good. He's looking pretty solid. I would say he is among like the top 5 Terran players in StarCraft Evolution. He is, I would say that he is a step below Bjorn. I still feel like Bjorn is number 1, at least for the time being, until we get into the championship, because that will kind of reset the hierarchy a little bit, but for the time being, I do rate Bjorn very highly. I would say that TaeJa is kind of like just behind him amongst the players like Kiwi and like TvP, like Dice as well. I do think they're all a lot more comparable in skill. But here we go, we're jumping into our best of 9. Game 1 is going to be on Pylon. Let's go. Oh god damn it, I was meant to get rid of the, hold on. It's meant to get rid of the tuna. Aye. Alright, we're going in. We'll be going in. So hopefully everything is okay. Me removing the tuna as we were loading into the replay may have broken things. God damn it. That's on me. That's on me for sure. Another caster bought out by Big Tuna. True. So we are going to be going on a short break. Actually, I'm going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we should have a series. Again. My fault. I say, hold on. We'll try to go back into it. Un momento, papi. Un momento. Catching him in chat. Gumiho in TvP hell. He has been struggling. He has been struggling as of late. Unfortunately. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But for now, we are going to be going on a short break. And hopefully when we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have our next matchup. We'll have TaeJa and Classic coming up soon. See you soon. See you soon after this very short break. And we're back, and we are back. Ooh, I do apologize for the short break, but we have returned with our fresh best of 9 series. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. We have our best of 9. We have some StarCraft Evolution. Once again, it's been far too long. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of a pylon, we have our South Korean Terran player. Hold on, I'll fix up his name. We have our South Korean Terran. We have our pink Terran. It is summer. I mean, it's cold. It is winter here in Australia, but it's summer somewhere in the world because he is here. He is back. He is TaeJa. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Brood War Protoss. Bear that in mind. It is for Team Virtus Pro Classic. Let's go. Let us go. Classic versus TaeJa. Our series has begun, and we are jumping into game 1. Now, for those that maybe are newer to the channel, we have been casting StarCraft Evolution, which is a mod for the past, what, 8 months at this point. But if you're a little bit newer, you might not be familiar. This is a mod that does bring together SC2 versus Brood War. They are permanently, I mean, this mod doesn't support necessarily SC2 versus SC2 or Brood War versus Brood War. It is specifically patched and balanced and designed for StarCraft 2 versus Brood War specifically. So every game we always alternate. I say we alternate. I believe it's loser's pick. So whoever loses this series will be able to choose whether they want to stick with their current version of the game or switch to the other alternate version instead. Here it's going to be TaeJa with SC2 Terran and Classic with Brood War Protoss. Bam! That's why you can see some very different unit models here for the buildings and for the units themselves, because they are just different units entirely, and different buildings entirely as well. The Brutal OST. Let's go. So now we do have our gate expanded aside. Of course, say that opening here out of Classic. Now, when it comes to our players and how well they're versed in this mod, I would say that Classic, he is either the best or top 2 Protoss in StarCraft Evolution. Classic and Hero both compete in StarCraft Evolution, and I do rate them both very highly. So they're top 2. They're top 2 in that. Fun fact: Classic and Hero are top 2 in StarCraft 2, and they're top 2 in StarCraft Evolution as well. When it comes to Protoss, like they are, you don't get better than them. So this is going to be an uphill battle for TaeJa, I'll be honest. Like, yo, Enki is throwing TaeJa into the deep end. I'll be honest. Like, TaeJa's good. Is he Classic good? We're about to find out. The initial Dragoon has arrived. When it comes to openers here, we do expect a Dragoon Gateway Heavy opener. We do have Dragoon range on the way. This is standard. This often does lead in towards a Robo, into Bay, into Reaver drop. That is a very common follow-up. But know that Classic has been enjoying a charge follow-up as of late, going into Forge +1, into Zella Legs, into a more Gateway Heavy style. We'll see which one Classic does go for. As the meta of the game has been changing a little bit as of late, we haven't been casting StarCraft Evolution over the past, like, almost 2 months, just because we've been so busy with EWC, with Home Story Cup, with the 2v2 tournaments. We've been so preoccupied. In that time, we've had so many patches, or we've had 1 big patch and like 2 like amendment patches as well. So there has been a shake-up here when it comes to overall unit values, when it comes to the meta as well, or at least I assume so, but I haven't confirmed it because we haven't been able to cast. So I'm a little bit out of touch. I'm like 2 months out of the current meta in StarCraft Evolution. I will say that. So I do apologize if maybe there are certain changes that have been occurring as of late that I'm just not aware of, just because I haven't been, again, we haven't been casting for around a month or over a month. For now, we have our 1-1-1 setup here out of TaeJa. We do have that Robo follow-up. Again, in my mind, I'm expecting Robo into Bay into Reaver. So we'll see if TvP is still the same as it once was. Let's go. Dragoons are breaking in. Again, now that they have range, they do outrange the bunker, not the tank though. Be careful. There we go. They fall further back. Tank has to reposition, and that's going to be so much free damage here in the bunker. Tank does move in. A bunker is going to go down. Oh, what about volley? Oh my god, barely does. It's done. Takes down the bunker. Dragoons, they do survive, and behind this there it is, Reaver drop. So again, Robo into the Bay, into shuttle speed, into Reaver production. This is very common, very common in TvP. This is kind of like the go-to standard build, the meta build. So Classic is not deviating from what we expect. And so far TaeJa, he's stuck at home. Stuck defending. There we go. Reaver is on the way. going to our Reaver production. Behind this, we do have the Citadel on the way as well. The Citadel should be for charge. There's a Fortress +1. We actually already mentioned this, if you recall, when it comes to the build of choice from Classic, how he's very fond of going +1 at Zealot legs, and that looks like that's going to be on the horizon here from Classic after the Reaver drop. So we have, I believe that is the, I believe that is a new graphical asset. Previously, this actually shared the same graphical asset as War Prison speed, but I believe this is shuttle speed. So we have Zealot legs. Zealot legs being research +1. Again, we have the charge lot follow-up, or the speed lot follow-up. Bearing in mind that charge is not really a thing. The Zealots just get faster. Reaver coming in towards the natural. And TaeJa, how quickly does he react? Oh, Reaver gets dropped in. Scarab shot goes off. Oh, and TaeJa, he does split. Does split towards the end. 1 SCV, 1 mule. No major damage. Oh no! But he does clump up. 6 SCVs gonna be going down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, he'll lose 6 workers. Reaver, he wants 1 more shot. No! Oh, he comes. He does clump up. 8. Whew, that could have been so much worse. You can see how weak those SCVs are. That was almost disastrous. But does get away. Does pull away. Dragoons, they try to punch the Raven. Shuttles leave. Oh, and we do bleed out a couple of Dragoons. That's 2 Dragoons going down. But the Viking falls. Viking does fall. Another Scarab shot. Oh, another Scarab shot does go off once again. Does connect with the bio. And TaeJa, we gotta calm down, Pat. Take it slow. So Classic does pull away. Pulls away. We got more Zealots behind this, bearing in mind that Warp Gate is not a thing, so you have to build units like Raxes, so we're just building 1 unit at a time. The Zealots are coming. Oh, clutch micro. Classic saving the Reaver. Does barely save the Reavers, does pull away. Again, TaeJa trying to keep up. As he finally gets 1. Yeah, 1 Reaver finally goes down. TaeJa, he breaks out. Whew, he does finally break out. Breaks out, he punishes. Scarab shots are not connecting. Gets another Reaver. There's 1 Reaver left. No Scarab. He's building as we speak. TaeJa boosting past. Rushing into the main at the same time. Classic going for a quote-unquote base raid. He does go for the tanks. Zealot legs are done. And the tanks are going to go down. Gets 1. Gets both tanks. At the same time, Dragoons, they will deflect. Oh, sorry. Zealots, they deflect. TaeJa doesn't commit in. Zealots, they are going to be overwhelming. TaeJa getting called out, so no bunker. No bunkers, no mines. At the same time, TaeJa going for the dive. Going for the natural. Pushing into a Scarab. Oh my god. Does get the Reaver. Once again, nice snipes. So far sniping 3 Reavers, 1 after the other. Very nice. Very nice when it comes to the main army aggression, but across the map, these Zealots are wreaking havoc. 9 SCV kills. Mine shots finally going to be going up. Widow mines have arrived. How about the Zealots are not done? They go for more SCVs. It's going to be 10 workers going down. TaeJa, he was forced all the way back home. And Classic has time to breathe. He does have time to breathe behind this, getting to Reavers. Likewise, we have Storm on the way as well, so we're working towards Storm. Yo, if you are watching for the first time, if you have not seen Storm in SC Evo, mate, you're in for a treat. It's my favorite part. One of my favorite parts. So far, we're going to be going for the Reaver drop here towards the natural. Zealots are going to be deflected. TaeJa, he's holding on. Let's go. Holding on to his 3rd. Does hold, does defend. High Templar on the way. Meanwhile, more Reaver drops here into the main. Classic so persistent with this. Just non-stop Reaver harass. This also means that the Reaver's not home to defend. And here comes TaeJa. Yeah, here comes TaeJa. Pushing in. Ooh, we'll lose the Raven. Yeah, Raven goes down. He does work his way through the Zealots, getting into the Dragoons. The Storm is done in 10 seconds. It needs more time. He dives on the Templar. Gets one, gets both Templar. Both Templar go down. No Storm. Does focus on the Dragoons. Storm is now done. But the High Templar, they need time. They have no energy. Remember, there's no energy overcharge. Not an SC Evo. But the Zealots, they will defend. They do hold. TaeJa racing back home. Classic, he holds. Classic, he holds, and he's gearing up. He's getting ready for those storms. There we go. He has it. Storm is ready. Storm is ready. Storm does connect. Oh, God, Storm does connect. And again, Brutal Storm does hit different. it does hit different. The Marines, they just melt, baby. Ay, ay, ay. Marines do melt. And Classic behind all this gets a fourth. He gets a fourth base up and running, does get saturated. TaeJa, he is running out of steam a little bit here. He's let out so much of his bio. And you can see the supplies, I mean, the disparity there is getting larger and larger. The trades have just been so much in favor of Classic, and the economy also in favor as well. That's Classic getting a fifth expansion. TaeJa just has not done enough. Likewise, Zeldin towards that natural. And into the main, just distracting. Remember, the shuttle cannot warp in, so just only a handful of zealots. Likewise, dropping in towards that third as well. Classic just being so annoying with a handful of units. While he's building up at home, that's a lot of High Templar, that's a lot of Storm. He's just trying to gear up. He's massing up his army, but at this point, I don't think he has enough to break through. No, without some solid EMPs. Like, the EMPs are so crucial here for the next big fight. We see Classic catching reinforcements. Does catch the rally. At the same time, TaeJa does move in. He's going to get the expansion. Nexus is going to go down. We're trading bases. We're trading a base for a base. Remember, Brutal Protoss does not have recall. There is no recall, so he turns back around. Brutal Protoss is much more immobile. Storm going to be popping up. High Templar, they come back to defend. Ooh, and here come the Storms. And no EMPs. Yeah, no EMPs. The Ghost out of vision. Oh, no! Brutal Storm on top of the ramp. He goes in. He goes up the ramp. Ay, ay, ay. And with that Classic, he will hold. He will hold. He will defend. Medivacs, they will get away. Oh, actually, picking off that High Templar, not bad. 2 more Templar go down. Nice pickups. We got some nice pickups, but the last stage, he needs more than this. He needs much more than this. And again, this also shows just how different, like, I should emphasize this as well, especially for those that may be watching for the first time. Brutal Protoss is the same as SSG Protoss in name only. Like, they're very, very different races. They play very differently. Again, there's no blink, for example, so you can see here that drops like this are actually much, much more annoying to deal with because Brutal Protoss is less mobile. It is straight up less mobile than SC2 Protoss because there are no blink stalkers, there's no recall, there's no warping mechanic either, so drop play can actually be really effective. The problem, though, is that TaeJa, he's only just now getting into his drops. Up until this point, Classic has been overwhelming, he's been out trading, and TaeJa hasn't had the opportunity to go for drop play at all. Until now. Right? Until now, we just haven't seen any drop play. Storms, they pop up, and Classic, he will overwhelm the main army. Is going for the kill. Classic is going for the kill. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Classic will take a lead in the series. And again, a very intense game 1 here. TaeJa, he had some really nice moments. I was so impressed by his ability to snipe those Reavers. If you remember, I'm referring to when he sniped 3 Reavers, one after the other, when he broke out across the map. TaeJa, it almost felt like he was all in. And the reason why it felt that way was because TaeJa was losing so many SCVs. He was losing so many workers in the lead up to that kind of moment, losing a lot of workers back at home, losing a lot of his economy. His 4th base was non-existent. He was committed, and as the game went longer, he fell further and further behind. He just wasn't able to do enough. That's another reason why he wasn't going for drop play, was because he was going for these big frontal pushes. He was, again, kind of all in himself, or forcing himself that much more committed, that much more all in, and he just wasn't breaking through, wasn't breaking Classic. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, we're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see if TaeJa can bring it back. Bearing in mind, this is a best of 9, plenty of games ahead of us. Let's go. Let us go. Does TaeJa play Brood War? I don't think he does, in the sense that you're assuming. Hold on, we'll get back to it. There are some SCG players that are currently playing Brood War, like True, for example, like True, MC, but TaeJa, he does not compete in Brood War at the moment. He doesn't compete in ASL. He might play Brood War in his free time, that's a maybe, but he doesn't compete in it, if that's what you're asking. Doesn't currently compete in Brood War. There. TY is an ASL. There you go. There you go. And TY is an ASL. But here we go. Here we go. We're now getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Blue Storm, one of my favorite maps in the tournament map pool. We have the South Korean Protoss player. Once again, we have the Brood War Protoss. Representing Team Virtus Pro, it is a classic. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Pink Terran, the SC2 Terran. Bear that in mind. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is TaeJa. Here we go, and TaeJa looks like he's setting up for a proxy. Okay, now welcome one and all to Blue Storm. Blue Storm is a ported map from Brood War. This was in the circuit back in, I want to say like 2016, 2015. If you remember, Blue Storm was in SSL, in the Sport TV Star League. This was when StarCraft Remastered came out, but I think the map is even older than that, so it's one of the older Brood War maps. Here we have our natural base. We have a tower that you can knock down. We have a very narrow entrance into the natural, so you can honestly defend quite easily on 2 bases. I mean, relatively easily. There's also another tower you can knock down here as well. It can be very difficult to actually push through this area, push through this ramp, push through this choke point, I should emphasize. But TaeJa is going for the proxy. He's going for his proxy. Gases are being taken, which means we might commit a little bit harder here to this setup. Meanwhile, Classic, he does scouts. At Classic, he sees. He's like, hold up. Where's your racks? Where is the racks? Where is your production? Classic, he knows something is wrong, something is up. He does open up 2 gate as a result. A standard opener is gate expand, but this is a 2-gate opener into the cybercore, or gate, yeah, 2-gate opener into the cybercore. So very safe play here by Classic. And he scouts. Yeah, Classic, he scouts, he confirms, he does get eyes on the racks. You can see him fully walling off this Reaper cliff as well. There's the Blue Storm. And as you can see here, this entrance into the natural is 1 pylon wide. So 1 pylon fully walls this area off. That's why it can be quite difficult to actually break this position. It's just a very narrow entrance into the natural. Reaper does slip in. Wait, what? I believe that should have been a full wall. Uh-oh. Reaper gets a probe. Again, it is proxy Reaper. Uncertain if it came through the backside, because I believe this should be a full wall off. I think it just went through the front. But it may miss it. Meanwhile, the Zealot does get across the map, going for the bunker. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh, it does force a cancel. And the Reapers are racing back. They're racing back home to defend. I love the Zealot model as well. Like, he's walking with purpose. Oh, gets an SCV. Gets an SCV, and behind this, Classic expands. Classic is expanding. TaeJa, he will soon expand as well. He's floating back home. The proxy, the aggression has ended. And Classic defends. Classic does defend. Behind this, once again, going into Dragoon range. And once again, we're expecting Classic to go into Dragoon range, into Dragoon production early on, then in towards Reaver drops. It is just the go-to currently in the meta. This is good with the Reaver drops. We know bunker is complete. If we deviate, then we will point it out, of course. Like, it isn't the only way to play, and Classic, he does like to mix things up from time to time. But I was very impressed with his drop play last game. As Dragoons, they go into town here on the army. Ooh, again, they do outrange. Pulling back. We need that high ground vision. There we go, the Rax has arrived. This is another big feature. I should have pointed this out, something the Dragoons were abusing. It wasn't they were outraging, they weren't outraging this army, but they had high ground because there's a ramp. This is a unique situation where there's a ramp going down into the natural. This is not common in StarCraft 2. When I say it's not common, I don't think we've ever seen a StarCraft 2 competitive map in the map pool where you have a low ground natural base. And this is a feature that is actually on this map and on Holy World as well, which is another map. We have high ground going into the natural, which is crazy. I mean, sorry, Holy World is different because Holy World is your main base is on the low ground, which is even crazy. But you can see here just taking advantage of the high ground. Tank volley going up. Classic, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with your positioning. Behind this, we have the Bay on the way again. Here comes that Reaver drop. So shuttle in towards Reaver production, towards Reaver drop. But we're going for a faster Citadel into faster Zealot legs. But the same overall setup here. So it's going to be Reaver drop followed by +1 Zealots. I say +1. I don't see a Forge yet. True. So we're waiting for the Forge. Classic going for a much faster third. Very greedy here by Classic. But because of his Dragoons, he's containing, right? He is containing his opponent. Meanwhile, we have Cloak Banshee on the way from our Terran player. Okay. Going to Cloak. Reaver gets into the main. Reaver gets in. Reaver gets a full scout. Reaver does confirm the build. As I say Reaver, sorry, Reaper confirms the build. I don't think I've done that before. The Reaper versus the Reaver. Give back. Give. As I believe Classic also is lacking information. So there's a bit of a give and take here. I spoke earlier how Brutal Protoss is similar to SC2 Protoss in name only. This is another example of that, where vision is much more difficult here because, I mean, especially in the current meta in SC2, because of the energy overcharge and because of sentries as well and the hallucinations, scouting is so free for SC2 Protoss, like in the current meta, in current StarCraft 2. Here in Brood War, or here for Classic, he doesn't have the luxury of hallucinations, he doesn't have the luxury of that, of like Oracle Scouts or anything like that, so that's also why Reaver drops are so meta, because this is a way to harass and also scout as well. It's a much later scout, but it's a way to get into the bases and figure out what the hell's going on. Without that, he'd be playing blind. Banshee does hit the natural. Dragoons are in position. The Observer likewise also part of the natural as well, despite that 3 probes going down. And TaeJa does move away. Ooh, meanwhile the shuttle taking a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage. He doesn't fully get eyes on what's going on. Marines are zoning away. They're trying to at least. Oh no! Oh, the tank volleys go off. The Reaver goes down. And Classic, this is brutal. We'll lose the Reaver. The shuttle takes a lot of hits. The Vikings coming in as well. And TaeJa with the interception. He should catch a shuttle. Shuttle speed kicks in. He zooms away. Oh no! It doesn't get away. And a much stronger start here from TaeJa. Shuts down the Reaver. Shuts down the shuttle. I believe the Banshee's still alive? No. Ooh, the Banshee got hunted down, actually. Okay. Nice wiggle fight Classic. Did hunt down the Banshee. But now TaeJa doesn't have to worry about the Reaver drops. At least nowhere near as much as previously. Likewise, he also has some safety turrets as well to zone away. So again, a much better setup this time from TaeJa. And we spoke about the ramp coming into the natural. We have a ramp coming into the third as well. Not just a ramp, but there's a lot of high ground here. So once again, this third base is much more accessible, much more approachable from the opposing side. This is also why typically as the defending player, you want to have control of this area here. This high ground is crucial to take control of. Otherwise, you have to deal with this. This ramp is brutal. Remember as well, mischance is a thing. In StarCraft Evolution, there is a chance to miss when you attack up a ramp into high ground. So Classic also has that advantage. Not just up a ramp and into high ground, but also into like tall grass. If there's like tall grass or shrubbery or a steam vent, for example, there's a chance to miss when you shoot into that. Again, like SE Evo is just a very different. It's just very different. Different maps, some different mechanics. That's Classic. He is again abusing this location. As we spoke about, like, this is the next big hurdle for TaeJa, is just taking over this high ground to make sure he's not abused like this. Meanwhile, the Reaver drop is back. Where is the Viking? Viking is at the natural. Speaking of, Reaver drop does hit the natural base. Vikings in position. And the Scarab Shot goes off on the initial army. Viking does own. Reaver gets left behind. And the Reaver goes down. Once again, an expensive loss here from Classic. Ay, ay, ay. Classic now losing 2 Reavers for barely any damage. At least he does save the shuttle. But again, like the amount of harassment that he's achieving here is lessened. And now TaeJa breaks out of his third base. And he will take over the high ground. Catching up the Dragoons. Remember, Dragoons that don't have a blink. They're getting caught out. Late reaction by Classic. You can see how unforgiving this is. If you react too late, you will lose everything. Remember, there's no blink, there's no recall. So some brutal losses here for Classic. Here come the Storms though. Yeah, Storms are connecting. They punish the Marines. Zealots are coming in. Tanks almost caught on siege. That's a lot of Zealots. Jesus, that's a lot of Zealots here. Classic, yeah, he's hunting for the army. There's not enough support. The tanks are solid, but there's not enough support for the tanks. And Zealots, they just collapse in. They just collapse in. Massive storm on the tanks. And TaeJa, he will lose everything. He had a solid defense, I'll say that, but he did overextend, got caught out in the open. Classic, he was waiting for it to collapse on in. And suddenly TaeJa, he falls behind. That was how many tanks going down? That was 5 tanks falling. Sorry, 6 tanks even. One of them was friendly fire. So 6 tank shots went down. And that is not easy to replace. Ay, ay, ay. Classic, meanwhile, because he had so much map control, because TaeJa was fighting for his 3rd base, Classic takes his 3rd, takes his 4th. 4th base is up and running. TaeJa now moving out with his own double drop. It does move out, does hit the mineral line. Okay, 9, 10, 11 probe kills. 11 probes going down at the same time. Zelarama runs into reinforcements. TaeJa will defend. Ooh, but a massive drop here in towards the natural. 9 SCV kills. TaeJa pulls away. TaeJa pulls away as Zealots are dealt with. TaeJa going into like a biomech-ish style. Again, the Hellbats are on the way to deal with, to help buffer. True. DTs have hit the field. DTs will delay mining. Classic does need another expansion soon. Especially if TaeJa saturates his 4th. But he's still getting there. Classic moving out. He gets eyes on the 4th base. Once again, he wants to engage out in the open. Without proper mine support, I don't know if I'm really confident here in TaeJa. Storms, they graze the army. Nice splits. Ooh, better storm towards the end. Yeah, towards the 3rd. Oh, look at the 4th storm. Oh, the storms. Jesus. The storms are brutal. The army barely survives. Wait, sims in. He sims in. And these Dragoons are so fragile. He's getting on top of them. The Dragoons are going down. As we do juggle some of them to safety. Classic is holding on. He is holding on. Behind this reinforcement with more Zealots, more High Templars, sticking with this Gateway Heavy Army. He's not taking up into Sky Toss or anything further than that. Ooh, okay, it's working out quite well here. As these storms are punishing. Storms do punish where the Zealots though. Storms are mainly sent away, they get a medevac. Medevac goes down. Dragoons are being targeted, as we mentioned, without Zealots, these Marauders, they go to town. They focus on every High Templar. And TaeJa, he will take the fight, he will take the fight. Ah, but here come the Zealots, we're waiting for them. Yeah, the speed lots are terrifying. They collapse in. And while they're distracting the main army, we have a drop. We have a drop here into the natural. Gotta respect the Zealots. Especially when there are no mines. And again, TaeJa, instead of going into Widowmine, is going into Hellbats. It's an interesting response. Again, I'm not fully convinced, but we'll see. As they roll us the tank, meanwhile we get the double drop into the natural. We have 3 High Templar. Storming on the medevacs. Gets 1. 1 medevac goes down. Another storm from the high ground as well. So I go for it. TaeJa for the first time in a long time actually pushing across the map. As Classic is getting a 5th, but can he hold on to it? Can he hold on to that 5th base? He's coming in from a flank. Storms are ready. TaeJa, I don't think he should be here. Storms, they mainly zone. They catch out the medevacs. And medevacs getting caught. Not enough Storm, not enough Zealots though. And TaeJa, he will take the fight. Just barely. Takes the fight initially until the Zealots arrive. That's going to be 24 probe kills. Those two Hellbats, they popped off. Oh my god. Hellbats, they popped off in the middle line. A nice damage here by TaeJa. Still has to respect those Storms. The EMP connects. Okay, he lands the EMP. Still being overwhelmed by the Gateway Army. Still is being overwhelmed. TaeJa pulls back to the high ground. Pulls onto the ramp once again. Zealot run by into the mineral line, distracting reinforcements. And again, it's been a non-stop tug of war here between Classic and TaeJa. Mainly in favor of Classic. TaeJa only just that one time got across the map. We do see Classic taking another expansion, double expanding. But the saturation isn't there. Oh. Getting on top of the Archons, at least trying to. So we're going back into Reaver production. I mean, Classic, he somewhat has the economy for it. Does go for some drops. And again, this is what he needs to do. We need to go for drop play. We need to alleviate that pressure, force Classic to be defensive. We spoke last game about how difficult it is for Brutal Protoss to be defensive and to keep up with these drops. And he will lose an expansion. True. He will lose an Nexus. Nice done there by TaeJa. As the Reaver drops her back. As Classic distracts. Oh, TaeJa does pull away. Does pull away in time. TaeJa pulls back. Oh, that's a lot of mules. 6 SCVs going down. Classic moving in. He's got the Storms. Oh, nice EMP. Gets one High Templar. One Templar gets caught. But there's still so many more Templar behind as they are bunched up. You can see TaeJa is hunting. Yeah, he's running in with the Ghost. Oof. Doesn't get close though. Oh, sorry, my apologies. Does land the EP. I didn't think he did, but he does land. Okay, he lands the EMP. We have more High Templar rallying in, but with that EMP, TaeJa, has he done it? Has he done it? It's so close, but he takes down the Dragoons. Gets on top of the Archons, and you can see just how fragile this army is. Without Zealots, without Storms, Dragoons, they just topple over. They just melt. They made out of paper, man. Yay. Every Dragoon goes down again. An insane EMP there from TaeJa. I thought it was caught out before the EMPs, but not. Did land. Did get in. Yeah, Reaver getting caught out. And TaeJa is going for one base, but he should be going for the other as well. Yeah, taking out 2 expansions. 2 bases falling. We just see Classic trying to race over, but he cannot save these bases. Not anymore. Oh, no, the Shuttle. Shuttle getting caught out. He's getting caught as well. Losing 2 bases, and from here, TaeJa snowballing out of control. Still has to respect those Storms, though. Does have a Ghost. Does have a Ghost ready. Runs through one of the Storms. Nice pre-split. A very nice pre-split. TaeJa. He avoids most of the Storms this time. But we got more Storms coming out. This time he does take to the base. Yeah, this time the Storms are connecting. Oof. Yeah, TaeJa wasn't quite expecting more High Templar. This time they connect. And Classic, he holds. Classic is holding on. He has the northern expansion, true. Northern base keeping him in this. He scans TaeJa. Yeah, he does scan, does spot the expansion. Bottom left is still up and running as well. TaeJa, where are we going? What do we want? Yeah, he's going for the northern base. Headed towards the top side. But now Classic has an army. And now he's got plenty of charge lots. Or speed lots. Couple of Marines do get into the mineral line. Nicely done. Marines get in. Probe's going to be going down. Oh god. But he will take everything to the base. The Storm. The Reaver shoved as well. The Scarabs connect. TaeJa, he had so much momentum earlier. If it wasn't for that fight on top of this ramp, if you remember, I'm referring to the moment where he took like 3 storms to the face. If that fight had just gone a little bit better, then maybe TaeJa could have broken through. As he will settle for another mineral line. From here, he can just pick up. Remember, no anti-air. It's only Zealot. Only Zealot here, so he can just pick up, pull away. Takes down the expansion. The northern base survives, so even though he got 17 probes, still up and running. How many had Templar? 10! 10 Templar. Nice avoid. 2 storms don't quite connect. The other 2 do. Oh, gee, there are just so many storms. Oh my god. We just blanket the area with storms. Classic is like, hey, at least one of them will connect. True, true. Just carpet bombs with all the storms. And with that, Classic, he breaks through the main army, now pushing into the bases. Not the most important mining base, but he's catching production. True. He's catching the production out. This also does mean this base is safe, as TaeJa he's stuck defending. Ooh, brutal connection. And Classic, he may have just done it here, as he's rallying with more High Templar, with more storms. We can see TaeJa is scanning. He's scanning, checking saturation, trying to see what the game state is looking like. He's checking, how screwed am I? Like, what am I up against? As the base does fall. With this, TaeJa's northern bases are now cut off from himself. Classic instead just going for the main army. Taking some better trades. Classic looks like, yeah, his attention is now towards the northern bases. No planetaries. There's planetary top left, but not this center base. Yeah, top base is exposed. TaeJa forced to lift. Loving this double drop. There's not much saturation, unfortunately, but... and Classic, he responds. He was already racing over. Already in position. Does catch a medevac. And is this the main? Natural. The natural was just floated over, but the last mining is denied. Again, TaeJa is getting desperate. He's muling as hard as he can. Going for the Hellbat drop. Let's go. But back in heart of the swarm, back. True. Storm Zoo zone. Storm Zoo punish, I should say. Gee, oh god. Again, it's almost purely High Templar here, by the way. It's almost purely a Templar army. One EMP could go hard, but there's no ghosts. Unfortunately, there's just no ghosts here. If you remember, we were committing TaeJa earlier for that one EMP that he landed, where he took the fight in the center of the map. But here, the ghosts just now coming in. The EMPs are connecting, but that's after the fight, after the storms. Storms, they pop off. GG gets called as TaeJa is broken, and Classic takes a 2-0 lead in the best of 9. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a Classic, he will extend his lead, but an intense, very, very intense game number 2. Very back and forth as well. Again, TaeJa had some very nice engagements, very nice fights, referring to when he was able to land those DMPs in the center of the map, when he was able to attack, overwhelm, and he almost won the game then and there, especially when it came to his control, when it came to his pre-splits. Emphasis on pre-splits though, because again, he was distracted, he looked elsewhere, then bam, more storms just kept hitting him in the face. But a very intense game here, almost non-stop action. That's another reason why TaeJa had a really hard time punishing the bases of Classic, was because Classic was never, he was unrelenting, it was just always in his face, ensuring that TaeJa never had the freedom, never had the time, or almost never had the time to actually go for drop play, to actually go for those counterattacks. It was very rare for TaeJa to go for them because he was just stuck defending or stuck fighting and engaging so often. GG. GG, well played. A very exciting game number 2, and now we're getting into game 3, and we'll see if TaeJa can begin the comeback, as up next we're going to be loading into Vermeer. Oh boy. Here we go. Storm TaeJa out of the game. That were a lot of storms. Almost pure storm. There were a couple of fights there where there were enough storms where you could try to split, but literally the entire screen was covered in storm. It was insane. Oh my god. It's like, mate, try to split versus this. Bam! Just a full screen of storms. Oh god. Aye. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 3 here, as spawning in the top left-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro, leading the series 2-0. It is Classic. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the now Brood War Terran, by the way. It is TaeJa. So we have a role reversal. We have Brood War Terran up against SC2 Protoss. Let's go. Now, there is a build that has been, or that was very popular and very trendy. That was 3-racks. 3-rack stim timings were very popular, very trendy. I know that there were like, I want to say 5 different patches that tried to address and tried to nerf the build and failed to. Like, it was still plaguing the meta. We'll see if we go for something similar here, if it's still trending or not. I know that TaeJa, he's typically one that's willing to explore other avenues. He's not necessarily one to just embrace that one build time and time again. But we'll see. We shall see, as TaeJa is going to be scouting top left. And now welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer features something that is extinct in SE2. It's a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom right, bottom left, top right, and top left. And TaeJa scouts immediately. So nice scout from TaeJa. Does confirm the location of Classic. TaeJa pulls away. The building, the vision of this morphing in Nexus, I believe, did not see the SCV. So TaeJa did turn around just in time. Does preserve that SCV. And I believe Classic is currently unaware as to where his opponent is. As here we go. We're going for the... Oh, we're going for a what looks to be a Vulture all-in. So it looks like 1 base Vulture all-in, 1 base, 2 base Factory Mass Vulture. With this, I believe we're going for the machine shops. We're going into Spider Mines and Ion Thrusters. That's it. I almost forgot the name. So Ion Thrusters is Vulture speed. Spider Mine, of course, is the ability to throw down Spider Mines. I believe this should be Mass Vulture here. There is a build from back at home, 1 base Vulture all-in, which also is very meta, which also is very trendy. And oh, we're not going for Vultures. We're going into tank production with Spider-Man still, though. You have my attention. let him cook, baby. Let him cook. Hallucination does scout. Hallucination does scout the machine shop researching. Vulture production has begun. We're getting into Spider-Mines, but again, tank first is interesting to me. I mean, maybe just a little bit more defensive here. He'll have the tank to defend against any kind of aggression. True. Yeah, just 1 tank. Okay, just a singular tank. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Is it stuck? Is the tank too thick? Or is that intentional? It might just be intentional here to keep the tank at home. Also, remember, Brood War tanks, they have to learn how to siege. Remember, they're otherwise stuck unsieged. Those Vultures are amassing. Stalker perks in. Vulture's going for the counterattack. Spider mines are now done. And shows his mines. Yeah, he's setting up here to intercept the Stalker. Setting up outside of the shield battery as well. Stalker's a race back home, and ideally he wants to bait them into the spider mines. As Vultures they get into the middle. Oh, the hallucinations though. Let's go. Does bait out with the hallucinations. Nice moves here by Classic. Sentry goes down. There's only 2 mines left. Oh, one connects. The other connects as well. Gets the Stalker. Does get a Stalker. Remember, spider mines, they're not triggered on workers. Early use, another Stalker goes down. The spider mines are popping up. 1 Stalker left. Tank has arrived. And this might just be too much. I mean, I say that the shield batteries are now done, and we don't have any spider mines left. We need more mines. Yeah, without the mines, these Stalkers, they can hold their own. They shut down the Vultures one after the other. Yeah, spider mine does get focused down. And Classic is holding. He's holding. There was momentum. There was a moment there for TaeJa, but again, he unfortunately was unable to stop the warp in. He was unable to stop the Stalker. Oh, Jesus. Again, you can see how well the spider mines, how well they connect. Oh my god. I say they strip away half the HP of these Stalkers. 1 mine shot. 1 mine. Man, Widow Mines ain't got nothing on Spider Mines, but now we have detection. The Spider Mine's going to be dealt with, and Classic he holds. And TaeJa's in a rough position because, I mean, he traded, yes, but he's on 1 base. This CC is so late. Such a delayed CC here for TaeJa. He was hoping to end the game, and he didn't kill Classic. Didn't kill him, failed to do so, and now TaeJa's in a rough place. He's in a rough place, rough position. Now the Spider-Man goes off. We get a full wall back at home. The Vultures, they do nothing. Meanwhile, we do have the Observer here to detect the Spider Mines. Siege mode is researched, but the Immortal's moving in, and with that, Classic, he'll level up. He'll level up the army, takes down the tanks, takes down the Marines, takes down everything. And what is that home to defend? 2 tanks. Okay, there's going to be 2 tanks offensively, soon to be 3 tanks. We're going to mech. We have Mass Factory here back at home. I believe that is the Goliath upgrade on the way. That is a new visual. Let's go. This upgrade model, or the upgrade asset, used to be the Cyclone's Hurricane Thrusters, or Macfield Accelerator. But it looks like they recently they updated the model, which is cool. As Goliaths are coming online, and the Observer does spot the army. As from here, TaeJa's contained. TaeJa is going to be contained here on 2 bases, and Classic can just freely expand. He can just freely expand, freely take another base. Oh. Classic dropping into the main. Does drop in, just peeking whatever he can. Going for the tank. Ooh, and going for the warp in as well. The Prism is going to go down, but not before the warp in finishes. Juggles a couple extra times. That goes down with the Immortal inside. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, just a little bit too greedy there from Classic. Classic, he will lose everything. Okay. Nice win there for TaeJa. Gets the Immortal, a couple of Stalkers, and the Warp Prism. Nice catch. TaeJa still needs more to go his way, but it's a good start. As he has to take down the Azit, it has to kill the Libra to actually move out. We mentioned earlier the tank was stuck, had to lift the factory to actually move the tank out previously. Yo, tanks are thick. TaeJa's trying to move out. So far, Classic is keeping up. Again, Classic doing the best he can to slow down the push by engaging at a time. Oh, this visual I haven't seen before. Also a new asset. Okay. Wait, is that Ion Thrusters? I think so. Because it wasn't researched earlier. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so new asset for Iron Thrusters as well. I appreciate it. As also going to try to trigger those mines, as there is a minefield set up, but there is detection. Yeah, Widow mines are going down. They're being cleaned up. Charge or diving on top of the tanks, and similar to SC2 Terran or SC2 Mech, tanks are going down. They're going down to the charge. Also, TaeJa, he will lose everything. Every tank goes down. GG gets called, and Classic, he will take a 3-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, TaeJa, he was so close to breaking Classic with his proxy double factory, with his massive vulture, with his tank move out. He was trading well, but then the warp in finished, and Classic got up to 3 stalkers with his shield batteries after the initial defense. That was almost game then and there. That was almost game then and there, just because, again, TaeJa was 1 base all in, so it was just falling, and he fell so far behind after he failed to kill Classic. He tried to recover, and he had some nice moments, but again, he could not keep up with just the scaling of Classic. GG. GG, well played. With that, Classic extends his lead even further, and now we're getting to our next game, game number 4. We'll see if TaeJa, I mean, we gotta start the comeback soon, Pappy. Yeah. It's a best of 9, so we still have plenty of games ahead of us, true, but alas, hopefully we can make a series out of this. Is up next, going to be loading into Holy Worlds. We spoke about this map earlier. There's a lot to get into. It's one of the more quirky maps out there, and is often vetoed. But in a best of 9, no vetoes, true. No vetoes in a best of 9, so we get to experience some of these otherwise vetoed maps. Well, let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of a Holy World, we have the StarCraft 2 Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. We'll see if we can start the comeback. It is TaeJa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brood War Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Again, Classic, he is hot off 2nd place at EWC, by the way. Like, Classic, you can make an argument that he is the best Protoss player in StarCraft 2 at the moment, and likewise, in StarCraft Evolution, I can say with confidence that he is the best Protoss in StarCraft Evolution. So, again, Enki, he did not hold back when it came to throwing TaeJa into the deep end and throwing TaeJa at the best Protoss in StarCraft Evolution. Bold move, Enki, bold move. But here we go. CC first. Okay, CC first out of TaeJa, and welcome to Holy World. This is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, top right, and bottom right as well. But if you remember, we spoke about this map earlier. This is the map where your main base is on the low ground. There's a ramp going down into the main, another ramp going down into the main, and another ramp going down into the main. So your main base is on the low ground, which means if your opponent's able to take control of the ramp and take control of the natural, like, it is brutal trying to hold on to that main. It is almost impossible. So very unique feature. Ooh. As doing CC first into a 3 racks follow-up, but very bio heavy this time. Not mech, of course, playing SC2 Terran. So going into a sim timing follow-up. Likewise, ooh, Classic Scouts immediately. Again, 4-player spawn map. The Gamba is real, but Classic does find TaeJa. Does find him. This is also why I appreciate SC Evo, just because of the more, there's just so much more variance in the map pool. Like, 4-player spawn maps are so common. They're so common in StarCraft Evolution. We were just on Vermeer. We have this map as well. We have Troy, for example. True. We have Return of the King. There's a lot of 4-player spawn maps. We have island maps as well. You know, one day StarCraft 2 won't be too scared of 4-player spawn maps. We're barely dipping our toes into it with Last Fantasy in SC2, where we finally have a 3-player spawn map. Just one 3-player spawn map in a 9-map map pool, so we never see it anyway. In SC Evo, mate, there's 4-player maps all over the place. Like, they didn't care. But it is a different game as well, true. It's a little bit different. TaeJa's looking, by the way. He's still searching for his opponent. Dragoons, they poke in. 2 poke in. Again, behind this, remember the 3x follow going into fast stim. So early stim into mass marine. And check the vision, Classic, remember he already scattered, so he knows. And the answer to this is fast splash damage. So far, Classic, he is now going for a later expansion. He went for a 2-gate opener, Mass Dragoon containing TaeJa. Another feature of this map is here, disruption webs. There are neutral permanent disruption webs in the center. Think of disruption web almost like blinding cloud, right? They're almost like neutral permanent blinding clouds out there. It's like the closest comparison in SE2. So if units go into them, they're limited in what they can do if they are forced to attack while inside the disruption web. They do take down the initial bunker. Bunker goes down, but hey, with concussion shell, never mind. Nice target firing on top of the Marauders. Very nice. Gets one Marauder. Stim is not done, so the army cannot close the gap here. Remember, he prioritized concussive shell. Ooh, but does get one, does get 2 Dragoons. No, barely just one. Oh, it's so close. Barely not. Again, very, very clutch micro here from Classic, barely saving, preserving these Dragoons as they're barely out of range. And again, without Stim, TaeJa cannot close that gap. He cannot close it. He's being punished. He's being abused. Losing another Marauder. Another Marauder goes down. And Classic, he may just overwhelm this position here. Remember, there's no more bunker, there's no tanks behind this. Because the build is only Marine Marauder, there's no tanks, there's no Widow Mines, no nothing. Oh, does get one of the Dragoons. But these trades are just so efficient here for Classic. So efficient. Everything would change when Stim finishes, but it's just so far away. I mean, TaeJa did decide that. Did offer that. Oof. Gets a Marauder. Gets another as well. Does trade 1-to-1 with that final Marauder, but alas, we're losing SCVs. We're losing workers here. Behind this, Classic could look to expand as well. As he's still just rallying across the map. Behind this now going into Reavers. We have shuttle speed on the way. The Reaver drop is upon us. And TaeJa is barely keeping his head above water here. Oof. As a better trade here for TaeJa. I mean, hey, this time he's got Stim, true. This time with Stim he does punish. Classic forced to back off. Remember, Classic is not done because here comes the drop. Shuttle's moving in. The Reaver has arrived. TaeJa, ideally, he wanted to hit a timing with Stim, but that timing is come and gone. And he's already lost so much by it. I'm afraid to look here. He's lost 15. That is insane. 15 Marauders went down. Ooh. Scribe shot goes off. TaeJa getting his third CC on location. Remember, there's a pocket third. As Marauders, they don't shoot up. Marauders, they do not shoot up. The shuttle is free to do whatever it wants. Another Scarab shots. And GG. GG gets called. 0 anti-air. We just micro to our heart's content. And Classic overwhelms. Classic takes a lead in the series. Classic is now on match point. GG is now on match point. One more game and Classic will claim the series. I'm hoping for a back and forth. Earlier, Gumiho did take a map off of Zaun, so at least we had a game 6, but here the pressure is on TaeJa. Pressure is on. I see in the chat, is TaeJa really back? Yes, if you haven't been watching StarCraft as of late, TaeJa, he came back like almost 2 months ago. Almost like a month and a half ago. But as is stated in the chat, he's only back in StarCraft Evolution. He is not competing in StarCraft 2. So he's not competing in like GSL qualifiers or SE2 weeklies. He's only playing in StarCraft Evolution tournaments. In SC Evo. Whew, but GG well played, and again, Classic, he overwhelms, he punishes the build of TaeJa, winding it back. Remember, TaeJa went CC first into 3 racks into fast concussive shell, which at times can do well, but we saw that he was just being abused by those Dragoons. Sure, he was able to slow and catch some Dragoons, but he bled out so many Marauders. Eventually, he finally got Stim, but by then, he had lost 15 Marauders. It was insane just how poorly he was trading up until that point. Again, his opener, his build was being abused. I remember Classic scouted. Remember, he scouted, he saw the build, he saw with his first probe the 3-rack setup as well. So he knew. He knew ahead of time. That's why he was as assertive as he was. And now we're getting into our next game. Potentially the final game of the series. Let's go. Let us go. A spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Or right side. Bottom side. Bottom side of Purity and Industry. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. We have the Blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. The world, the EWC runner-up. The runner-up here of the Esports World Cup. It is a classic. And spawning in the top side of Purity and Industry, we have the South Korean Terran player with the South Korean Terran. We have the returning Terran, of course, as he has been back for quite some time from South Korea. It is TaeJa. It's summer somewhere. Summer somewhere. Let's go. The summer of TaeJa, it's back. And TaeJa, I mean, he's had a rocky start is what I will say. He's had a rocky start. Maybe it's too cold. I mean, the winter. It's hitting him. It's hitting him. But yes, he's had a rocky series so far. We've had some really good games. Like, honestly, I really enjoyed Blue Storm. Blue Storm was a lot of fun. Blue Storm was very back and forth. TaeJa at his moments, Classic at his moments. In the end, did go the way of Classic, but again, it was an intense back and forth between the two players. We'll see if we can get more of that as we load into Purity and Industry. This is one of the newer maps in the map pool. I say newer, I mean compared to all the Broodor maps. But if you remember, Purity and Industry was in the map pool back in 2021. Like 2020/2021 era of StarCraft, coming into the COVID era of StarCraft. In StarCraft 2, that's when this map was in rotation on the ladder. But this map has been amended. If you remember, previously we had slow zones all around. Here, slow zones have been removed. They removed slow zones accessing the island base, so the island is more accessible. Likewise, I believe they did open up the area here as well. Like they did make some adjustments. I think they removed a base. I think there was like a base here as well. I think they removed a base. They made things a little bit more accessible in some areas and a little bit more choked up in others. But this map has been amended specifically for SC Evo. Meanwhile, Racks expand, economic opener out of TaeJa, forced to throw down a little bit off center thanks to the probe. So a little bit off center, but not the biggest of deals. And Classic is going to be opening up once again with his 2-gate Dragoon setup. And once again, we're expecting 2-gate Dragoon into Reaver drops. That is my one big criticism so far. I say criticism. For the most part, when it comes to builds, when it comes to variety, for SC Evo, it doesn't feel like there is too much of that. That may change coming in towards the championship, but again, like 2-gate Dragoon into Dragoon range, into Reaver drop, into +1 charge, into Storm. It's very, very meta, very common, and you don't often see too much else from that. I did mention that there is a build that Classic does enjoy where he goes into faster Zealot legs. He goes into a faster Citadel, into +1, but we haven't seen that yet today. Haven't seen that yet. As I believe this song that's playing is from the Nova Covert Ops, I think that's what this song is. From the Nova missions. Which is also what I appreciate. Another thing specifically to SC Evo, which is really nice, it's like nice like quality of life sort of thing. I don't know if it's quality of life, but like just like, God, there's a word I'm looking for, but my brain is not there. But it kind of sets the there we go. It kind of sets the tone and sets the vibe for a lot of these games. Is specifically for SC Evo, all these maps they have added and expanded the soundtrack, so it includes songs like this, songs like the Nova Covert Ops, or songs from the Broodor OST as well. I feel like it's something that should just be baseline for SC2, but it isn't. It is something special that they've done for SC Evo. So there's like an expanded list of songs that can play during the games, which is really cool. Meanwhile, BC? Wait, what? We're going for an economic opener into a 1-1-1 into BC. Okay, let's go. TaeJa. BC against Protoss. Now, if you remember, like last year, I want to say Gumiho did have a build where he was, I think it was in GSL, where he did go proxy BC and TvP and he popped off. Here it's not proxied, but the rush distance by air is very short. You can see here, we are a screen apart. We're a screen apart, very short rush distance by air, but the slow zones do make up for that. True. I mean, that's why there's slow zones here, to compensate for just how quickly you can go into your opponent's bases. Meanwhile, no surprises here. Again, Dragoon base opener into Reaver drop. We have a shuttle speed on the way for Classic. Classic getting his third base, so he's going for his own drop play, but here we go. The first battle cruiser is on the way. So remember that one tournament where he didn't lose the match at all? He's only lost to the cork of champagne. I think that was a dream hack. That was back when dream hacks, it was like quote unquote mandatory, but whenever you won, the champion would come out with the champagne bottle to go to town, and yeah, TaeJa infamously, he's built a game. He's not really built for that sort of thing, to pop the cork and to pop the champagne. It led to some awkward gifts that were made and some awkward moments, but all in good fun. All in good fun. As here we go, BC across the map. BC towards the main. Likewise, we have the Reaver drop here into the natural. And TaeJa, we actually target down the building SCV, but the turret does survive. Does finish. Turret does finish up. Shuttle's deflected. BC is coming in. Here comes that battle cruiser. Battle cruiser does hit the main. Oof. Scraps are going for the Marines. But there are plenty of Dragoons back at home, and we respond with a Stargate and a fleet. We're rushing carrier? Okay. Jesus, BC does elbow back home, but again, Classic is rushing carriers. He's crazy. I mean, hey, he has a massive lead in the series, so why not? Bearing in mind, Tempest doesn't exist, so that, like, when you go for a fleet beacon like this into Stargates, it has to be carrier. The carrier is a very different unit, of course. The carrier here in Brood War does begin with a lower interceptor count. I say lower, it begins with 0 interceptors, but it has only a max capacity of 4 interceptors, at least until you get the upgrade. Then it goes up to 6, if I'm not mistaken, or is it 8? I think it's 8. I think it doubles. That's only after you get the upgrade. But carriers are on the way. As gas stalls go down. Picking up a couple of SCVs. 8 after upgrade. Yeah. I think it doubles from 4 to 8. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out. As BCs, they do head in. Loving the skin. They do throw in the bases. More Stargates on the way. It's going to be triple Stargate production. Again, currently no upgrades. Are currently only 4. So only capacity for 4 interceptors. I'm sure Classic will get there. The other scary thing about what's happening is that Classic is intentionally banking up the carriers as well. Meanwhile, mech. We're going into StarCraft 2 Terran mech. Okay, we're meching it up. Yo, do you think TaeJa was watching Gumiho earlier? True. Gumiho, he did play mech, but he went battle mech if you're full. He would switch back and forth. Battle mech, traditional mech, back into battle mech. In his series. Elliot heads in. Does threats into the third. Not bad. Does 9 mining time. No major kills, but does 9 mining time nonetheless. Scan into the natural. Massive scan. Does get eyes on the mass carrier production. And here we go. Instantly Thors. Thors are on the way. We're building up those Thors. Still making more BCs. Ideally, we need more starports. We need like a second, third starport for Thor, for Viking production as well. Or Thor into Lib. We'll see how he does actually approach this. How many carriers are we up to? 4. Still no upgrade, by the way. Classic. Like, what's going on? I feel like typically whenever players rush into Skytoss for Brood War Protoss, like we rush into that upgrade as quickly as possible. I think it is common consensus that carriers without the capacity upgrade are kind of dead weight. Where's the anti-air? Where's the anti-air? The tanks, they're gonna be shut down. Uh-oh. TaeJa, we should not be here as carriers. They will chase us down, and there's no medevacs. There's no way to escape. Every tank is gonna fall. Oh boy, this was a questionable move out here from TaeJa. As it's not like he has to free up supply. That's not the case. At the same time, he's going for a zealot. Sorry, for a Hellion counterattack. He runs into zealots. Yeah, but every tank goes down. Tanks, they have value. Like, this isn't purely a Skytoss army. Like, there's still zealots and dragoons on the ground. Tanks, they can be useful. Oh boy. Yeah, this is a rough moment here for TaeJa. Zealots, they drop into the main. Here comes the main army. TaeJa, he's working with half his army now. As I'm afraid to look, he lost how many kills? 8 tanks. 8 tanks went down. Here comes Classic. I mean, there's some Thors, true. I mean, there's a lot of Thors, actually. As we are going to be moving in. Why does they go up? They do take down one of the carriers, not bad. One carrier goes down. Ooh, as we're rallying past the turrets. And, does Classic know that there's a carrier upgrade that he has to get? Does he? is he aware? Aye. Someone message him on Kakao. Let him know. As TaeJa is moving out. As he moves out, we do get the drop once again into the main base. We have how many Thors? Nah, 8. 8 Thors. Soon to be 12. So sorry, soon to be 11. So Thors on the way. Army moves in. One carrier is going to be targeted down. He gets one. He's going to get 2. All the carriers should be targeted. And Dragoons, they cannot hold their own against this. Yeah, Thors, they will dominate. Classic has to get the hell out of here, but at the same time, Zealots. At the same time, Zealots, they're popping up. We have Zealots at the third, Zealots at the natural, Zealots in the main as well. 34 SCVs. Ay. Brutal damage. 34 workers going down. Dragoons, they pick up one of the Thors. But now here comes a counterattack. And imagine this, but with 8 tanks. That's all I'm saying. Like, imagine this move out with a tank line behind it as well. BCs are going for the gold. We're getting messy. Storm is finishing up. Oh, we got an upgrade. Or they run into the main army. I'm not too sure what that is there. Oh yeah, we have Maelstrom on the way. Does Classic know that Maelstrom only works against biological units? He may not be fully aware of that. But now the storms are popping. Jesus, the storms are popping up. Yeah, the storms on the Thors. They do soften them up. Thors are softened up. Thor goes down to the storm. You see TaeJa getting us up on the high ground. Another storm does connect. Takes out the tank. Again, once he enters the Thor storms, Jesus, again, the Thors, they cannot get away from the storms. They're too thick. Yeah, they're far too thick. Tanks are going down. Thors go down. And remember, TaeJa, he did lose the economy earlier. He has been rebuilding, though. He has actually rebuilt all of his workers. Very impressive. But because of that, his army is smaller. His army is smaller. Yep, there it is. Maelstrom is on the way. As we mentioned, Maelstrom only works against biological. If you remember, Dark found out that the hard way. When we casted Dark playing random and rolling on Protoss, he was playing against Beyond. He played a ShowMatch. Or he was playing a tournament. I can't quite recall which. I think it was tournament. And he went mass Maelstrom, and it did nothing to Beyond's mech army. and Dark, he was question marking the hell out of it. He was like, what? Like, Backy, that doesn't work on mech. Like, oh, okay. From here, Classic getting caught out. Yo, the Cyclones. The Cyclones, baby, they pop off. The Ducklings are brutal. Shuts down all the Dragoons. Now we're holding on. Let's see some mind control. Mind control has not been researched. Mind control has not been researched. Yo, we got the... let's go. This is late game Protoss. Show us the Arbiter. Arbiters, they of course have stasis fields, no stasis traps. And that is ideal against mech. But we're getting there. As it looks like Classic is done with carrier. He's like, mate, those carriers are awful. I'm never making them again. It's like, Pappy, they will missing the upgrade. but it does seem like he's done with carriers. As BCs, they do take down a mineral line. That's going to be 12 probes going down. Classic trying to respond. DTs, they attempt to harass. Attempt. Yo, we got Arbiter upgrades on the way. So Arbiters, they're kind of like the mothership, but better. Arbiters have stasis field, they have cloak, of course. Oh my god, the storms, they shut down the Cyclones. Jesus. Respect the storms, man. As TaeJa does take a storm to the face. Get these Cyclones, they're so brittle. Here they come. Ooh, as he does catch out to a Templar, only one storm. Yeah, better catch here from TaeJa. We have flanking storms coming in. Ooh, as one Templar goes down. Storm does graze the Cyclones. 2 Cyclones do fall. Yes, here comes the Arbiter. Here comes the Cloak. Does cloak the army. No scans. Uh-oh. Going for the Arbiter itself there. Nice off him. But it does pull away. So the Arbiter does have a recall, it does have the cloak, and does have stasis fields, and of course can be masked. You can make additional Arbiters. Arbiters are not a hero unit like the Mothership. But the Arbiter is going to be going down. Arbiter gets sniped. Oh, but again, the Cyclones are getting caught out by the Zealots. As Classic does switch into a mass gateway army. And the Zealots do punish. Oh. Yeah, they do punish, moving in. At the same time, BCs, they hit the gold base. They deny mining. Do deny mining. Oh, good. Once again, storms do punish. Storms are popping up. CC goes down. Oh god. And Classic, he might just, when his reinforcements arrive, I should say, he might just be able to overwhelm. As here they come, reinforcements are on the way. And GG, yeah, GG gets called. He has broken the bank, broken the economy here of TaeJa, and Classic, he will take the series 5-0. He will claim the show match. GG. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth here between, I mean, I say intense back and forth. It was a one-sided scoreline, but I don't feel like the games themselves really did reflect, the score reflects the games themselves. I did mention specifically on Blue Storm, even on this map as well, we had it back and forth. There were definitely some moments though where TaeJa did overextend. I'm referring specifically to when he lost 8 tanks. When he lost those 8 tanks, did mean that he was that much weaker defensively, and his counterattack was that much weaker as well, so TaeJa was in a really, really rough position there. Likewise, Classic, as TaeJa was switching into battle mech, Classic was able to punish quite hard there. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Classic, as he will claim the series a clean 5-0 for Classic and a bit of a dirtier 5-1 to Zaun. And for those who weren't here, we casted Zaun versus Gumiho earlier in a best of 9. Zaun did claim that series 5-1. Here, Classic 5-0. But again, Classic, he is arguably the best Protoss player in StarCraft 2, and I would say in Brood War as well. In StarCraft Illusion as well, for sure. You don't get better than Classic when it comes to StarCraft Evolution Protoss, and it was definitely a tall ask here for TaeJa. He was able to hold his own at times, but again, he was overwhelmed. So congratulations to Classic. Very well done. Very well played. GG. GG, well played. And we'll see how our players look like coming into StarCraft Evolution Championship, as that is going to be taking place this week. This week, we'll be going over all of those replays, all of those matches. Bam, as we can head on over here to the bracket to catch up on our schedule. Schedule's quite intense. As you can see here, we're going to be live tomorrow morning with the OC Rising Star Tournament. You can see StarCraft Evolution Championship Tuesday evening, Friday morning, Saturday evening, and Sunday evening. A lot of StarCraft Evolution. Meanwhile, we have the Big History Cup. That's going to be on Wednesday. We have the Podcast as well. We have the Patch Clash on Thursday, and we have plenty more tournaments. KSL, Little League Cup. There's tournaments all over the place. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft, as always here on the CranKy Ducklings. We are live every single day, as you can see, often multiple times a day. There's just so much going on, so much StarCraft. We do our best. We do our best. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We do appreciate it. And again, we're going to be live in the morning with the OSC Elite Rising Star Tournament. That is where we feature up-and-coming players. That is going to be in around 11 hours. In around 11 hours time, we're going to be live once again. Otherwise, when it comes to this tournament, the Enki Epic Series and the Enki Pro Series, shout out to Enki Alexander. He is one of our own. He's one of the CranKy Ducklings. He's a Spanish caster, and he does organize these tournaments. He casted these show matches live in Spanish. We just now brought them to you in English for the first time. We did cover this, we just wrapped up with English. Typically we try to be there live, but at the time it was clashing with Euthermal's circuit, so we weren't able to cover it live. Maybe next time we'll be there to cover it actually live on the channel. Next time, baby, next time. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Again, it's always a breath of fresh air covering StarCraft Evolution. Always a lot of fun. And as you can see, there's going to be plenty more StarCraft Evolution on the way in the weeks to come as well. I do think that right now is the best time for StarCraft Evolution, just because we're in the off-season, right? All the top Koreans, they're all done competing in EWC, in the Esports World Cup, which means now they can justify practicing StarCraft Evolution, because now we're in the off-season. They're not focusing on another EWC right now. That's most likely, if there is going to be one for StarCraft 2 next year. So right now is a time where SC Evo can thrive, just like last time as well. Like during the off season, like that's when SC Evo can pop off, and when players can start focusing intentionally on improving at that game mode. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in 11 hours for some OC Rising Star, or we'll see you guys tomorrow evening for some StarCraft Evolution League Championship. That's going to be in 12 hours, or sorry, in 24 hours time. Otherwise, if you want some more StarCraft, if you're unsatiated, I believe Wardy is going to be going live soon with the Wardy TV Monday. That is going to be in 2 hours. Oof. In 2 hours time. We're not going to be live for that. So we are going to be going to bed, as that's going to be starting a little bit too late. So I'm going to be getting some rest. But if you want some more StarCraft, the Wardy TV Monday is in 2 hours time, and Roddy's hosting a tournament as well in 3 hours. So they're going to be overlapping. They're going to be clashing a little bit, which is unfortunate. But they will be all over each other. And that's going to be in a couple of hours. Otherwise, we are going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll see who's live at the moment. Who can we send everyone over to? Let's have a look. Who's live in StarCraft? Harstem, he just went live. I see Thriving GG. Code Bar, Nightmare streaming. Let's go. Nightmare's live. Could give some love to Nightmare. Yeah. We'll give him some love. Just double checking. Make sure I don't miss anyone. Okay, we'll give some love to Nightmare. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. And congratulations to Classic and to Zaun for claiming the show matches. GG. GG, well played. Well played.